Good morning and welcome to Chatty Walks with Angela. My name is Angela and this is a kind of Christmas video with a difference. We are in the village of Shere, and Shere as a village is very famous for the film The Holiday with Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet. Quite a few years ago it was filmed now. Long time ago. Jude Law, Jack Black. And this is a village that is plagued in winter by tourists coming to see where The Holiday was filmed. Just going to come through here. So yes, we are at the home, the official home of the film The Holiday, plus Bridget Jones' The Edge of Reason, which was also used as a filming location outside the church. Shere is also considered one of the prettiest villages in Surrey. Of course, everyone will have a view on that. Now, you can see there's a problem in Shere. Way too much traffic. And it's genuinely a problem for the locals who live here. Every winter, people come from far and wide, Canada, Australia, the world over, things like that, to come and see this lovely little village. Just going to show you along Gomshall Lane. Now, we have come walking many times. Just going to straighten up the gimbal, it's being a bit awkward. There we go. So that's Gomshall Lane. We walked along there last time we were here. And this is Middle Street. It heads you straight through into Shere, and this is lovely Cuckoo Corner. Just a lovely shop, got lots of interesting things. See some little Christmas trees here, lovely wooden items. So we got a teak root chopping board there, medium £27.50. Got some lovely drinks, gins, beers, wines, everything. And then here's the supermarket where we bought our sandwiches last time we were here. So, yeah, we didn't actually have time to stop. We were out walking in the Surrey Hills last time we were here. So let me just show you where we just were. We were just over there. You can see the hills behind you. We're not far from Dorking. And we found this and we don't know what it is. Great start to a walk with a bit of history. It says 1886 on there. So if anybody knows what this is, please do tell. I'm sorry, I didn't actually know what this was before we arrived. And as I said, historic spot where we bought our sandwiches last time. So we got friends in the area, Aberjahammer. We got some friends who live there, and you can really have a lovely walk across the hills into Shere from there. Also, my sister's mother-in-law worked in Shere in one of the shops in the village. And here we are, one of the timber framed. There are so many timber framed cottages in Shere, and that's what brings in the tourists. And it's not just since The Holiday. It's pretty close to London. People can come and have a lovely weekend trip, and it becomes absolutely packed. That's Shere Cottage for ethical gifts, eco living. Show you that. And here is the Dabbling Duck, very well known cafe and restaurant, and there's a load of walkers going past at the moment. It's an incredibly popular walking area. I don't know if you can catch the reflection or hear everybody. We've eaten in the Dabbling Duck. Well, we've eaten in most places here at some point, especially the ice cream. Can really recommend the ice cream around here. I'll show you the place in a sec. So I point you along Middle Street and the back end of the walkers who are just cutting through now. So you can sit outside in the Dabbling Duck. I'm just going to point you back along the high street, make sure there's no cars. There we go. So you can see the hill. There's a delivery van coming through. It's very cramped through here. And as I said, it's one of the sources of problems for locals. As I said, very popular, as you can see from the crowds coming through. Shere Pottage, love that, Shere Pottage. Just going to cross you over. So we're going to go back and forth a bit in the home of the holiday, although parts of it were filmed in Dorking as well, and various areas around Surrey. Right, let's just cross over while we can. There is the bypass, the A25, that was built in the 1960s. But I think it's fair to say it gets quite busy. Shere 2000, it says there. Don't know if you can see it. Got a cute little post box here, and then a little map. Tells us that you are here. Gives you all sorts of places to go, and some idea of where you can walk as well. Now, it's in there that they do the amazing, and I mean amazing ice cream. Would you agree? Amazing ice cream?
Yeah, I'd agree, definitely.
So
absolutely.
It is so good. They also do a very good hot chocolate.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't sit in or anything. So you just wander around. You see ends of people wandering around with ice creams from there. Got a duck house here. It says specifically duck house. Ducks only, no humans allowed. Hello ducks, we do not have any food for you, I'm afraid. No, we don't. Sorry about that, chaps and chapesses. I could give you a bit of history. Would you like a bit of history? Sorry, keep pushing you along there. There's a reason why I keep looking there. This is the River Tillingbourne. Let's walk along here. And you'll often find people with ice creams coming and sitting on the benches here to enjoy said ice creams. We're on lower streets now. I'll just show you along here. So this is the south side of the North Downs, joining the River Way at Guildford. The River Tillingbourne, its source near Tilling Springs to the north of Leith Hill. Anyone who knows this part of the world will know Leith Hill. Those poor ducks. We haven't got anything for them. Sorry guys and gals, seriously. And the full length of this, so the Tillingbourne is actually 12 miles long, and in the 17th century there were 20 mills along the 12-mile stretch of it. You have Gomshall Mill, which became a restaurant, and the big industries associated with this area were weaving and tanning, and they had sheep to provide the wool, which was spun by the women folk before weaving. And Shere and Gomshall on a 1753 map are labelled as famous for weaving of fustian, which is a hard-wearing weave. You need your hide and your skins of cattle and sheep, clear running water and oak bark as a tanning agent. And this area had all of that. Actually a tannery in Gomshall, just up the road, became a major international business until it closed in 1989, and sourcing leather from its hides from, I think, New Zealand and Brazil, if I've understood that correctly. So here we've got Crumbs bread shop, homemade roast veg soup for £2.50. Now of course we are looking for places to eat. We may eat in the pub. Now the pub here is famous from the film The Holiday, because that's where Cameron Diaz and Jude Law go on a date, in the pub. So I think quite a lot of people come here just to go to that pub. It's an interesting spot, that pub, because this was quite a lawless place with Shere. You wouldn't think it, would you? But sheep stealing was rife around here. It was known for smugglers, sheep stealers and poachers. And the parish constables were actually unable to cope. There was so much sheep stealing going on. Horses and sheep disappeared, often found their way into London. I'll just show you Shere Delights again in case you're ever in Shere and want an ice cream. Just buy them. They're delicious. Cross. Yeah, here we go. Just crossing you over the other side with the Tillingbourne. There we go. If you like a bit of water. Now, interestingly, one of the meeting places for those naughty smugglers, sheep stealers and poachers was in the village pub. Big surprise. And here we are, the White Horse Inn. And the interesting thing is you often saw a lot of poached game on the premises here. So, yeah. Pinching it, eating it at the pub. I'm just going to try and cross over here. Lovely dog wagging its tail at me there. Let's walk through the centre here. So we've got Hilly's tea shop here, which actually we might be going in later. Tried to go in once before. I think it was packed, or we were with a friend. That's the time we ended up getting the sandwiches, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was.
We didn't quite make it in.
Went to that sandwich shop.
Yeah. So, Shere cottages, sort of mostly around the 16th and the 19th century. A lot of wood-beamed ones, as you can see. Going to walk up to the church, St James's, and we'll come back to the pub. Don't you worry, we'll come back to the pub. I know you're anxious. And you've got one of the walking paths coming through here as well. So when we walked from Abinger Hammer, we actually came in through the back of St James's Shere. So here's lovely St James's Shere, which has quite an interesting story attached. So we're on Church Lane and I walked past some of the cottages. Some of these cottages, by the way, not necessarily the ones we're looking at, date back as far as the 15th century. As I said, most of the village is still 16th and 17th century. So it's a medieval church, is St James's, which is now conveniently hiding behind some trees. In 1258, let's give you a view around, in 1258, the Bishop of Winchester, and he was all over the place, the Bishop of Winchester, Aymer de Valence, or Valence, ordered 50 of his men to take valuables from Shere Church and carry them to France. Do you know what resulted in this lovely little village in Surrey? The Battle of Shere. Yes, it led to the Battle of Shere. Anyway, you can see the church spire there, and it's 11:45, so nice and convenient for us to find some food afterwards. Had fish and chips in the pub last time we were here. Not the last time, the time before. We do come here quite regularly. As I said, got family and friends in the area. It's quite a cold day today. It's about 5 degrees tops. Driving here, it's 3 degrees and thick fog, and the fog just cleared in time for me to start this walk. So yes, a band of local men tried to stop the thefts from the church. One of them was killed at the Battle of Shere, and the local inhabitants sued the bishop, but somehow they all got a pardon, did the bishop's men. Honestly, that Bishop of Winchester, all over the place. So this is the path. If you take one of the walks, you would take it up through there. And as I've already mentioned, we walked from Abinger Hammer and came down here. Absolutely stunning walks, really lovely around here. If country walks in Surrey are your thing, it's a really good place to go. So I'll walk you back down now. So the fascinating thing, other than the Battle of Shere, I should have told you, sorry. Features dating from the Norman period, fine. Not much restoration, but Christine Carpenter is the famous person here. And she submitted a petition in 1329 and was granted permission to become the anchoress of Shere Church, actually, and that means she put herself in a very small room in the church. She received food and drink from friends and family through a metal grating on the outside wall. And inside the church, a quatrefoil shape was cut out of the wall through which you could receive the Eucharist, and a squint or hagioscope for her use for prayer and reflection. She changed her mind after a few years, left it, and then went back again. So there you are. There was an anchoress. Kept herself in there, then got herself out, then went back in again. I do like, whenever we walk past here, I do like this little water pump. And if you wander around Surrey villages, you do come across those from time to time. I'm just going to give you a good look at some of these beautiful village houses here. So I thought this would be a Christmassy walk at the home of the holiday. And I've wanted to film Shere for ages, for about two years at least. And it's nice to be here now. I filmed Bournemouth last week, and here I am this week filming another one I've wanted to film for a very long time. Let's cross over. As you can see, traffic galore. We're in the Guildford district of Surrey, and we're just about 5 miles east-south-east of Guildford, just over 5 miles west of Dorking, which is a great little town. Might do a walk there one day. It's always a bit different when you're out in towns and villages. It's not like filming London because people aren't so used to seeing people with cameras. So it's a little bit more uncomfortable, if I'm quite honest with you. Split figs. That's a gift shop, as I recall. Yeah, it's a gift shop. And as I said, we just walked past Grove Cottage. It's just lovely here. And then we've got Hilly's Tea Shop just through there. We just walked past, and then we might go for lunch there. We might go to the White Horse where we've been before. And in some ways, this area actually got lucky. A railway didn't come through it. You've got Gomshall and Shere, which was built in 1849, just over a mile away. But it had actually little effect on the development of the village. And there's a chap called Henry Malden, H.E. Malden, who wrote a Victoria County history of Surrey. And he noted that happily the presence of the Duke of Northumberland's seat at Albury Park, which is just down the road from here, and the wise action of other local landowners have operated to keep speculating builders at arm's length. It was actually during the 1930s, when sort of the middle classes got cars and they wanted to come out to the countryside from the towns and cities, it started to get very busy here. They built the A25 bypass in the 60s, but as I said, you still regularly get traffic jams on the weekends, and you get people coming wanting to see the home of the holiday, like I'm showing you now.
And he was saying that his wife's so neither are lots of them, are they?
The William Bray. So the Bray family have been big landowners in this area, got the manor and everything, since the 15th century. I think Henry VII, if I got that right, but I could be wrong, passed that on. And they've got literally their country pile and a number of other country piles in this area. Now, just going to point you up the street here before we head back down, because then we're just going to walk back down again to the pub. Somebody doing roof work up there. There we go. Let's walk up through here a bit longer. It's in the Doomsday Book, aren't they? All in the Doomsday Book, called Shere. I think the Doomsday Book was written in Latin, but not Latin anybody would understand anymore. So we've got Mad Jack Shere. Clothes, accessories, bags, jewellery, Xmas trees. Oh, here's an interesting thing. In the Doomsday Book, the assets of Shere were one church, 2 mills worth 10 shillings per year, 14 ploughs, because it's still largely agricultural in this area. If you go walking up on the hillside, you would see 3 acres of meadow woodland worth 50 hogs, and rendered £15 per year to its overlords. And I'm going to turn around now. We're kind of back at the top of Shere, so you can walk. You can see from the people walking down, there's other walks up in that direction. The road narrows there. I think it goes under a railway bridge, as I recall correctly. Surrey Trek and Run. I'm going to turn back round again now. There you are, true Surrey village at Christmas. Oh, here's an interesting factoid. In 1671, a shearman called Edward Bound, I better get onto the pavement, it seems silly to walk on the road. Yes, a shearman called Edward Bound in 1671 was charged by the church authorities with playing cricket on the Sabbath, naughty man, and was exonerated. It is one of the earliest references to cricket. Actually, the whole Guildford area is now being credited with sort of the first naming of cricket. I think it was called cricket, and it was very much sort of a kiddies game, and they sort of put their stuff together themselves a lot of the time. But there was a land dispute end of the 16th century in which cricket was named as having been played there 50 years earlier. And it's a funny thing in this village, because of all the sort of sheep stealing and horse stealing and that sort of theft, it's been pointed out that a lot of the cottages had very large cellars. And Henry Malden, H.E. Malden, I think it's Henry Elliot Malden, said these cellars are far too large for any honest purpose, and were no doubt made for storing smuggled goods till they could be conveniently taken on to London. So yeah, large cellars in small houses. As we head back towards the White Horse Inn, it was originally a house called Cribs in 1450, and they put sort of a double chimney, back-to-back chimney fireplaces. And I've got a bit of information here saying from 1866. Let me just see if I can get across. It's quite cramped for filming as well. From 1866 to 1945, it was managed by the Askew family, and the inn became frequented by literary and artistic figures. And actually a fair amount of the famous or the semi-famous have houses around here. And there is some concern, I think, that a lot of the village is being sold off to sort of Airbnb and rentals and things like that, to capitalise on its fame and the fact that it's very popular as a day trip location and things like that. Right, big decisions have to be made about lunch. There is Hilly's tea shop over there. There's the lovely ice cream parlour over there, and the Dabbling Duck. But no, we are going to go into, the White Horse, the historic White Horse, that by the way has a ghost, I understand. As I said, formerly a farm, developed into a pub, and now famous for where Cameron Diaz and Jude Law had their dates in the holiday. And we've heard there is Christmas dinner going on inside, so we're going to give it a go. I'll post a few pics inside. See you there. Okay, that was a delicious meal in the White Horse. We did indeed have Christmas lunch or dinner, whatever you want to call it. Turkey with Yorkshire pudding. The best way to have turkey. We also had Christmas pudding. And there was a cute little dog called a Pomsky sitting next to us, which is quite nice. We had the fireplace. Fabulous. Way too full up to eat any ice cream today. And next time. And that is the fire station, the old fire station, now a public toilet. And I think on that note, I will end the walk. Just nose in their window a sec. Okay. Is that antiques, I think? Antiques in there. Open, please ring bell. Still got that village feel. Anyway, I will sign off now. I do hope you enjoyed a little Christmas walk around the village of Shere in Surrey. I will see you very soon with some more Christmas videos. Bye bye.